All right, so it's harvest time for the wheat. It's just after Independence Day here, and as you can tell, the wheat is turned into a golden field of readiness, and these wheat berries are ready to come out of their pods. So we're gonna cut them down and give them the shakedown, get some berries out of them. So it's the first time having like a real big wheat harvest, and we're excited to see how it goes. You can see that we have a pretty good hold on the weeds in here, but there is some grass. I don't think that really matters too much, because in the end we'll winnow the wheat and get all the dust and stuff off of it, and we'll just have the heavy wheat berries that fall to the bottom and collect. And each one of these clusters that you see here was like one or maybe two seeds. Like that's one or two seeds. It's like one plant right there, one plant right there. So it doesn't grow like normal grass, it's kind of a clumping deal. And they say, not sure what their ratio is exactly, but for one seed can make as many as, I mean, that's got to be over 100 seeds right there. So it's a really prolific crop. And obviously it's been a long part of human history. So we're kind of keeping it going. And that's a shock of wheat. Surprisingly not that shocking. But this electric fence, you wait till that puppy turns on, try licking it. Now I have to winnow this in order to separate the wheat berries from all the chaff. Of course, I caught some on the tarp. I'm sure there's some in my hair, as well as on the ground all around me right now. But that's fine. Seeds do produce exponentially more than you plant, so I'm okay with losing a little bit, of course. And otherwise, the way that we were doing it in the past was just like individually hand wringing them out, and that would just take way too long with all the ones that we have to do. So this will work for me, and I hope it was fun to watch, and hopefully soon we'll grind some of this up into flour and see how that bakes up in the brick oven. So now my dad came up with this method of shucking it down using the hardware cloth and just rubbing it against there, and we're not nearly throwing as many berries all over everywhere. And now it's time to winnow some of these wheat berries. That's just letting the wind separate the wheat from the chaff. But you can tell it works quite well, because here's all this stuff on the ground and not seeing any wheat berries in that. You just got to be careful when you're pouring it not to spill them everywhere. And then some of these do need to be broken up a little bit more, but the wind's kind of dying down and kind of in and out, and now it's kind of blowing hard. Yeah, another thing to note too that I didn't say earlier, that we planted this in the fall last year, and my dad did rather, and so that makes it a winter wheat. So each time you do it, you get a little bit cleaner, a little bit cleaner, and we're gonna end up with some good wheat berries, it looks like. So now it's winter time, and we're grinding up some of the wheat, making breads and whatnot. And the first step in this process is to get the extra holes off that didn't come off initially. And this can be done several ways. Trying to essentially break any seeds out of this chaff or whatever. So that was hiding inside, so just kind of grinding them up one last time. And then they're going in this bowl so we can winnow them out again, which we've already seen. And then we're gonna grind them up. So now the grinder is up and going, and the wheat berries are slowly making their way through. And you can just barely see it shrinking right there. Not much to see on this side, but we'll see what it looks like when it comes out the other side. So now the wheat berries have all run through the machine, and we're left with some pretty good flour here. And the holes were left on, so this is whole wheat. It's got the brown look to it, makes more dense breads and whatnot. But we've been using it and mixing it in. We'll use it 50-50 with some of the corn flour that we do for cornbread. But it makes pretty good stuff, honestly. We made pumpkin pie crust out of it and whatnot. We're using it up. And like here's the pie crust, for example. And you can tell, you know, it wasn't a perfect roll. There was a couple chunks, but I mean, definitely works. It's definitely a pie crust, and you're not really supposed to use whole wheat for pie crust per se. You're supposed to use that all-purpose, but we don't have any here. This is what we had on hand. As you can tell, it's gonna make a pie. And to give you some proof, there's a pie right there. Out of the pumpkins that we grew and are stashing over here. Jarradale pumpkin, starting to turn orange. That's a futsu. That's another Jarradale. Some butternuts down there. And all that work's done. Eat some bread and chill out.